All right, Sam, big day. We've got 18 annual filings to chew through. I'd say 6 stand out, and one of them is genuinely alarming.
Yeah, let's start with the alarming one because Sankyo Tateyama just dropped a going concern warning.
Ticker 5932. They're forecasting a net loss of 13.5 billion yen, driven by a 16 billion yen impairment in building materials. Aluminum prices crushed them.
And they explicitly disclosed material uncertainty regarding going concern. That's new this year. The CEO is out. They're selling assets, including their bond factory, for an 8.7 billion gain. And banks have imposed strict covenants.
But they're still paying a 25 yen dividend. Negative payout ratio. That's a choice.
Ticker 402A. This space startup IPO'd on the growth market last August, raised 7.9 billion yen, and immediately pivoted hard toward defense.
They launched 7 Grus 3 satellites in July, established a defense subsidiary, and landed a Ministry of Defense contract via Tritsat that's now 27% of revenue. But net losses deepened to 4 billion on aggressive R&D.
Classic post-IPO, capital unlocked, spending explodes. They're also hiking high-res satellite investments 61%. Bold bet on the defense tailwind.
This one's fascinating. They rebranded their entire segment from cloud product to AI business, uplisted from growth to prime, and brought in a former BCG managing director as CEO.
Revenue grew 39%, operating profit up 54%, and they paid their first ever dividend. But Toyota jumped to 20% of revenue. That's serious client concentration risk.
Founder stepped down from the board and cut his stake from 27% to 17%. Professionalizing fast, but one client at 20% is a yellow flag.
Ticker 4198. Net income collapsed 93% to just 19 million yen. Payout ratio of 186%. That's not sustainable.
They lost their biggest Hakuhodo project. Client concentration dropped from 15% to 2%. Management explicitly abandoned the scale-chasing model, calling this a foundation year focused on profitability.
They're restructuring game content, considering killing unprofitable titles. The new TrendDX platform is the pivot toward recurring revenue. Honestly, this feels like a reset year, but that payout ratio is reckless.
Ticker 6505. JR East is taking a 20% stake and sending a director to the board. That's a major strategic alliance.
Operating profit jumped 31% despite flat sales. They're merging their struggling ICT division into transportation, exiting water systems, and unwinding cross-shareholdings in Tokyo, Meitetsu, and Namkai.
New midterm plan targets 9% operating margin and 10% ROE. The JR East partnership gives them a clear infrastructure channel. This one looks well positioned.
Ticker 1419. They slashed the dividend 36% to 125 yen. Payout ratio of 517%. Housing segment swung to a 1 billion yen operating loss.
They exited new condo development entirely, pivoting to used condo renovation and resale. Banks imposed covenants requiring net assets to stay at 75% of prior year. That's tight oversight.
New plan targets 25% ROE by 2031, but with a 517% payout ratio and shrinking cash reserves, that's aspirational at best. Watch the covenant compliance closely.
Big theme today. Several companies hitting crisis mode disclosures. Going concern warnings, covenant restrictions, collapsed profitability. The post-IPO spenders like Axel Space are a different animal entirely.
Exactly. Watch Sankyo Tateyama's asset sales and whether Tamahome can hold those covenants. That's where the real risk is. Catch you tomorrow.